testing, my responsibility to configure like participating in this daily stand-up call, and after that sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective. It depends on the requirement, depends on the criteria, depends on the priority of the story. We'll start with the testing and start with the creation of the test cases. Once test once test case is created, start with the analyzing the requirement and test cases creation, and after that we'll start with the testing for the business perspective. All the stories, all the requirement will be based on the priority and deployment, based on the deployment planning. If I, I regularly collaborated with the developer and BA to understand the complete requirement with BA and to understand the functionality with the developer. So I can easily analyze what is the bug, or what is the error or issues with the in the testing perspective, because BA perspective is different, and development perspective is different, and tester perspective different. So as a QA, my responsibility to complete doing the testing once start with the sprint planning to end at up to UAT. This is my routine is currently is going. Thank
Okay, and do you have experience in test management and ADF? I believe you already have, as you have already told. So,
you.
how about test and management?
Test management, I have an idea about that, but even though in recent as well and in a previous company also they are not used that one, but I go through that test management and test management 2.0 as well. I just have an basics knowledge about how they are using test management and all. But it depends on if you get a chance to work on that particularly, I can surely go with in depth and go through with understanding the requirement, what is the required as per the QA service and QA perspective.
Okay, and how about STLC lifecycle, if you can explain?
SDLC, software development lifecycle, it will be requirement
No, no,
analysis.
it's STLC,
Software
STLC, not
test,
SDLC.
yeah, software test the life cycle. Software testing life cycle, it requires requirement analysis, planning, design, implementation, execution, and closure. Like every requirement will be starting with the requirement. Every story will start with a requirement. Once we get a requirement, we'll start with the analyzing the requirement, design what we need to do, what have to development, what functionality we need to execute. That is a development perspective. They will do it, and after that, as a QA, what we need to do, what are the functionality they are going to execute, and what are the expectation from the business perspective, that we need to understand in the design and analysis, design, and implementation. Implementation means development and testing. And the testing part, what we do, we based on the understanding the requirement, we have to do testing with the different scenarios, but the for the same requirement with a different scenarios, so different inputs, different uh, like like different data we have to validate, and after that it will be once it is completed the testing part, then it will be execution, like it will move to UAT. So STLC will be the like analysis, design, implementation, execution, and closure testing.
Okay, and what are the type of testings we can perform in ServiceNow, or you have performed, if you can explain about that?
Yeah, in ServiceNow, after completion of the developer complete with the UAT, my responsibility QA to do with the functional testing, regression testing. If it is an enhancement story, it required a regression testing. If it is the standalone story, it is required functionality testing, system testing, and UI testing. Like if it is a form relevant, it required mainly required sorry UI testing. All the things it required, and yeah, system testing and functionalities mainly, and regression testing is required for if it is a story is already created and is some enhancement, some defects, some changes, if, then that time it required regression testing. And once completed, then UAT testing. UAT testing usually it depends on the criteria. Usually what happen when businesses understand the system, then he can do the perform the UAT testing. But when business is not understand the system and the functionality of service now how it will work, so on that time, during that time, we need to schedule a call with the UAT person, and we need to give the demo how we need to perform the UAT testing. And based on that, once he accept, then he do the one round of testing with from him accept. Then after that, we'll get a UAT approval.
Okay, so like if you can explain the difference between regression testing and system testing.
A regression testing, if the code changes is not affected to the existing system, for that purpose we are doing the regression testing. System testing, if the once you complete the development, if the system compatibility system is working as expected, like in the system level, other functionality is working, that purpose we are using system testing. We are performing the system testing. Most of the important thing in the current scenario, we are using regression testing more and functionality testing. What is the functionality they have expected? Is the expected result based on the acceptance criteria? We need to do functionality testing.
Okay, and what is an ATF exactly and its usages, if you can explain?
ATF is a ServiceNow inbuilt automation tool. It is used to automate the test cases for different scenarios, like for automation purpose. ATF can be like mainly we are using once we completely deployed the regular story. Then after that we start with automation, the same story which required for during upgrade and during regression as well. Like there is a two scenario. Once once a BA story move to deployment, once we complete the same story, we need to start with the automation. Once we succeed with the same automation test, it is useful for two scenarios. One is if the enhancement is come with the same story, then we can use the ATF for regression testing. After that, we can change, we can modify the what is the enhancement is done. And the same story which is relevant to the upgrade thing, that time also we use the same idea for performing the upgrade as well. And ATF has advantages like it is more flexible, only we can automate with low code and no code, means ATF allows only less code, and it's not required to writing a code for every step. It has a inbuilt all the features and add drag and drop option. But the disadvantages of ATF is there is some limitation. Some UI is not supported, UI validation is not supported, integration with third party it is not supported, and even though performance testing is also not supported through ATF, and even though like yeah and ATF is not possible for all the scenarios. That is a one I have observed as a user.
Okay, and if you can explain about test suite in ATF, what exactly we do.
In test is for single test. A test suite for if you have multiple test cases, and we need to perform it is a test like execute all the tests at the same time, and to time consuming purpose, we are using test suite. Test suite means a group of collection of tests. Like if you are writing a one test suite and adding a different test in the same test suite, then it once you execute the test suite, you will get all the outputs same same time, and it will save the time. And if it depends on the organization level, if you are having multiple tests, if it is a hundred cases, and that time if it required to validate all the test cases, based on that we are using test cases.
Okay, so for example, now there is like a simple manual test case you need to form, and what you have to do is you have to just test a simple form in ServiceNow. So, what manual steps you will be following to create that particular test case?
In ATF.
No, no,
No,
manual test case, not
manual
ATF.
test. Yeah, if you are considering it just as no, a simple catalog form, first I have to write the test cases. What step we need to follow? One is based on the for the particular portal, the user is able to have the access to go log in with the portal, and once he able to log in, he is able to view the catalog form, and after that, once he able to log, then he can submit the request. That is, we need to check like access and like roles and access we need to check for the user, and after that the form level we need to validate UI and field data, field values, and drop down values which is as per the requirement, which is correct or not. And once the form is loaded, if it's the form is required for, once the form is loaded, request user auto populate the some user details should be auto populate, that we need to validate. And drop down values based on the previous data selection, previous field selection, it should be the next field should be dependent or not, and like that is called as UI policy validation. And like and field values, like whether it is a, that is a basic thing, that is not an advanced level, just a basic thing we need to validate, like field values, whether it is a string or character it is accepting or not. Everything as per the requirement we need to understand whether these are all the things, and if that form is supported, the system like UI is supported or UI functionality is working fine, and UI action button is correct or not. That is, we need to initially we need to validate these things. After that, based on the requirement understanding, we need to go with the step by step selection of the data, and based on the requirement, like based on selection, based on the drop down we need to display or not, and this that we need to validate the next level, next phase.
Okay. And like currently in your project, which methodology you are using for testing?
For testing we are using agile methodology.
Okay, so I mean, you have idea about stories and then
Yeah,
like how the process works.
yeah,
Okay.
currently we are
And
using a story level like agile methodology, like we are participating in sprint planning, sprint review, sprint retrospective, like even though daily stand-up call every day we have one time daily stand-up call. Based on that we will be discussing what are the pros and cons, and after that sprint planning, in the sprint planning itself we'll be starting with analyzing the story. uh, there will BA will get the requirement, BA will explain what is the story it is. We as a QA I need to start with the analyzing the story, but didn't start with any work, but initially we'll start with analyzing the story, what is that. And once it is ready for work in progress, that time developer will start with the development work. Once development is completed, he will move to ready for testing. Once the story is ready for testing, I start with the analyzing and completely thorough, like get to understand complete story, but the story complete requirement only understand by a BA. So if I am not cleared with the requirement, then connected with the BA and get a walkthrough with the story. Then after that, we'll start with the testing. In between, if I get any of the defects, if I get any of the issues or functionalities, or if it is a developer fault, or if it is a system related, so I will collaborated with the developer and BA and inform like it is that what is not working. If it is defect, then it will be will raise the defect in the defect management if it is in built-in service now. And after that we'll start the, if the stories if you have a multiple stories in my queue, then we'll start with another story and continuing. Currently in my queue I have like 4 to 5 stories in queue, and three are in testing queue, and two is still in ready for testing. So it will be depend on like the story and priority of the story will start with the testing, and after that once it is moved to UAT, then the next story will take into testing. Until it is moved to UAT, will not take any of the story, because if you are start with the testing and again it will not go to another queue, it should be your queue. If the story is in ready for testing, if it is in your queue, if the if some other QAs have a bandwidth, then it will be as a reassigned to some other QA. But if the story is in testing, it will not reassign to any other QA. So the That's the reason we have to give the priority, and based on the bandwidth, we will give the ETA, and we will complete the work. And we should be the mainly focus on, we should give the 100% sprint output. That's it.
Okay. And can we run ATFs in production?
No,
What is the reason behind it?
like if you are running in the ATF in a production, it will like if it is related to some notification, if it is like, it will be affected with the production functionality. So that's the reason ATF is not allowed to run in the production.
Okay, so you mean to say it will affect the existing functionality, so that is the reason it is not
Yeah,
considered.
yeah, and even though some
Okay.
functionalities, like sometime it will be like if data is different thing and input, based on that, it will be affected through functionality level, and it will be like as per the policy and as per the audit purpose. It should be data should be if it is a data breach, then it will be a problem for the organization.
Okay, and like for example, there is a defect in your story. So how do you report it
Uh, in
currently?
currently I'm doing reporting through defect management. In the ServiceNow we have a defect management. There I have raised the defect and tag it to the developer. Like we have an option, like once you open the defect management, that is inbuilt ServiceNow only. There I have assigned to the developer, and along with the screenshot and along with the description, short description, I will create a defect and that particular story only. So it will be we didn't use any particular tool like Zira or any tool, but in my previous company, like in previous company, what I do, even though we didn't use any of the defect tool for that, even ServiceNow also, even Zira also. During that time, my responsibility was to, if I find any of the defect or issue in the testing while doing testing, I completely return in the mail, and I forward it to the manager. But in current
Okay,
uh,
so
yeah,
in current project you are using like defect module, and previously to that you were just using mails and everything
yeah,
for
mails and
communicating to.
everything,
Okay.
and
I
we are
just
planning
wanted to
to.
understand that do you have idea about this defect management or not? I mean, I just
Yes,
wanted to understand like,
yeah, yeah.
so I think
I
it's
have
fine.
clear about
Okay.
the defect
And like,
management, and also like I have basic knowledge about Jira as well. Like nowadays,
okay.
corporate is expecting to, means converted into defect management to Jira ticket management, right? So that is also have some
Okay.
basic knowledge about
Okay. And like, if you can explain the difference between a catalog item and an order guide.
that. Yeah, catalog item is a request form. Order guide is a like it's a if you example, if it is a one form is for any of the request, you will get a one request. Okay, uh, just an example, like one catalog form, that is a request for leave. Okay. In the form referential level, there is a one form like request for leave option, that is a catalog form. Order guide example, request for asset. Okay, in asset, like order guide means it's a one request with multiple requested item, that is called as order guide. Here there we'll have a one request, and we have a multiple request item. In that one request, we have a multiple request item, like the example what I said, asset request is a one request. Inside the request item, like mouse, laptop, keyboard, and whatever, depends on the requirement, and like it will be order guide. So this is the difference, like it's a single request, this is one request with multiple request item, that is called order guide.
Okay. Now there is a scenario based question where what you have to do is you have to create an ATF. Okay, and you have to create an incident
Okay,
with ATF, and the category should be network or anything you can keep. Also, you have to rectify that the state is new, and the assignment group is like network support group. So you have to create an ATF to generate an incident and validate these things.
Okay.
So how will you do that using ATF steps?
See, I just explaining this process or how I create the ATF for incident. While creating an incident, first I go with the incident model. In the incident model, how to create incident manually. Based on that understanding, we'll start with the ATF step by step. First, we'll create a user. I create a user with the role ITIL. Why ITIL? Because that is enough for the creating the incident for incident creation. So then impersonate user. Impersonate the next step will be impersonate user. In impersonate, I will start with the same user. I will impersonate the same user. Open form. In that open form, you have given condition one is we need to rectify that assign to network, right? You're saying, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, Bojo, you are not audible properly. I mean, your video is stuck also. You are not clear. So I'm not able to understand.
Yeah, yeah. Now I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you repeat your question once?
So I was saying that I could not understand because of the network issue. If you can just repeat it again.
Yeah, can you repeat your question once? Then I can repeat the answer.
Yeah, so I was saying that suppose, for example, you have to create an incident
Mm-hmm.
and you have to just check the state is new, okay, and the category is network
Okay.
and the assigned to is network support group. So how you will create an ATF for that?
Okay. So now I'm audible, right? Clearly. So
Yeah, I can hear you.
before creating an incident, I go through the incident model, and there I start with the creating an incident manually. There I have checked the what are the mandatory field values and what need to analyze the requirement. Then after that, the same in the configured in the ATF. First, in the first step, I create a user. In the create user, I give the role ITIL user. After that, impersonate that particular user, and again open a form. In open form, I there have validate the there have select the incident table. From that, again in the next step, set field validation. Set field validation means what are the mandatory field values, like caller and short description is the mandatory values, so that I will validate. And after that, you then again set field values. Set field values, short description. I'm audible, right? If you are not audible, you just say you are not audible. Okay.
No, no, I can hear you. I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, then after the short description and caller, I will add the set field values. Then the next step, I will give the submit but sorry. Then after that, I will give the assign to network and state to new and categories and network. Sorry, categories network assign to is a network administrator. So I will add the values in the set field values. Then submit a form opening. The next step is the open existing record. In the existing record, just to validate the created from the previous step, I just validate with from the previous step. Then again, record query. Record in the record query, I validate that what we are condition assigned to should be network administrator and state should be new and category should be network. That is what I validated in the network.
Okay, fine. And like if you can explain what is parameterization in ATF.
Parameterized testing in ATF is a one feature available in ATF to test the same test with a multiple inputs for getting a different result, means different outputs. We are using parameter testing. Like example, If you are given, if you are taken a one example, request for a leave option, in that case, input will be different. Like there is a sick leave, there is a casual leave, there is, so in that cases we will do is a different scenario. So we'll give a different inputs and to get different output. For that purpose we are using this kind of scenario. We will use parameter testing. The main purpose is with a single test we can execute the multiple output with the different inputs.
Okay. And like, have you ever worked in upgrade?
Yeah, recently for Xenado upgrade in my current project, I have been part of the upgrade. My
Okay. And
responsibility and the upgrade, like before doing a upgrade, my responsibility to complete the ATF for all the respective catalog forms and stories which are relevant to the upgrade. And after that, once every stories is completed as part of the upgrade purpose, then we'll once upgrade is completed, then we will do the uh, smoke testing and sanity testing during that time, just validating in the form level, like, right, we didn't do anything apart from that, right? So that is also a part of that. Once completed the upgrade, also that time also I participated to testing in the UI and what are the changes have been done. That is also we done even for service catalog and even for HRSD, because in the current Xenado upgrade have seen like there are so many changes in the HRST model.
okay. And like, do you know which particular step in ATF we use to test the notification?
Yeah, in ATF we can use the inbound email action. Inbound email action, we can validate the notification particularly. Like recently, I have did one scenario. There is a CSM case. In that case, once you configure the mail, after that email should be triggered. Based on the email triggered, then automatically case will be created. Once case is created, that trigger to the even end user, and even that end user, if end user respond to that mail like yeah, it is accepted, if it is resolved, like everything should be logged in a one single case, and it should be continued with that. It should not close until customer said like it is completely resolved, correct? So that kind of scenario I have done recently. That based on the inbound action email configuration, that we use like inbound action. After that, record query, and from the table, from the CSM underscore notification, like table. Not exactly remember that table name. Table there, if you are finding the open the notification there, in the notification itself case will be created. That case need to be we start with the working like with the agent, like kind of have done with that previously.
Okay. How about outbound notification? Have you tested that outbound?
Outbound test, actually, I have heard that, but I really didn't do any of the real scenario work. I just heard that like outbound testing in through ETF, it's like uh, difficult, and it's not supportive as well. Like it's like integrated with the third party, right? So it is not if it is a inbound, like it will be like inside the service now itself, or outbound will be like third party tool. It will not support through ATF. So the
Okay.
the reason nowadays people like in current corporate, they are using different tools like Selenium or some other tools they are using for integration purpose mainly as per
Okay.
my understanding.
Okay. And one last question I have. So it's a scenario based question. So you have to create an RITM using a catalog item.
Okay.
So what steps you will be using while creating an ATF? End to end, and it has approvals as well, and the
Okay.
task will be created. So complete flow of it.
Okay. There also same thing. First we need to understand the catalog, how it will be working, and what is the scenario for that catalog. If it is an example, I just give an example same like requesting a leave option. Okay, in the leave option is leave request is a one catalog form. In that there is a two drop down one is, like three drop down like sick leave or leave, like what kind of leave. And if it is a sick leave, there is a mandatory attachment is a mandatory and submit. The description it is if it is required or not, like depends on the story. Like yeah, if it is required also, that is also mandatory. If it is a earn leave, then it is not required any of the mandatory, but only description level is mandatory. Okay, this is a scenario. I'm just giving an example. So creating a that form in ATF, first we need to create user. In the first step, create user, then impersonate user, and open a service open to the service portal catalog form. And after that validate the field values, and after that validate
Sorry,
submit.
Bajay, I mean, I'm not able to hear you. I think there is a network issue again.
Now I'm audible. Now I am audible.
Mm, I can't hear you, and even the video is stuck.
Okay, one second, one second. Now I'm audible.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that is fine. I understood that there is like casual leave, sick leave, and then you are submitting the form
Correct,
based on that.
correct, correct. Yeah.
After that, like how you'll be proceeding with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
After that.
proceed with the ATF, I initially write the like in the first step we'll create a user, and after that the second step impersonate user. In the create user, I just given a normal like ITL access only. Then after that uh, even ITL access, or the particular if it is related to HR form, or if it is related to normal service portal, it requires some more roles like ATF underscore test user, test designer, that I give the particular user. I'm audible, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, set field, open a form in service portal. Go to the state validation. Then set field values, and after that, in the set field values, if it is related to mandatory field values, we need to fill it out. Then uh, after that, submit a form, open existing record, and record update, like checkout shopping cart, sorry, checkout shopping cart, and open the existing record. And after that, record update, record query. There we'll start with the approval. Sys underscore user underscore approval. We need to go with the for initially it will be the SC underscore item table. After that, SC underscore task table. After that, sys underscore approval table. Then the first level approval will be sys underscore approval. Then second level approval for the same. Uh, there in the approval level, before going to approval level, we need to add one more user that impersonate or add impersonators for any of the higher level like manager level user, and validate with the approval. Then after that, again two level approval is validated. Record query, record update, record query, record update. Then after that, again impersonate as a admin. Then admin or any of the two group member, like that particular catalog group member. Then task sa underscore task sa underscore task table. There impersonate as one particular user, and task close, then validate the task, record query, record update, then task close complete. Like in the record update will be validate the task close complete.
Okay, fine. So I believe you are done with that flow, right?
Yeah, I'm done with the flow. This is just simple,
Okay.
like this catalog form which has have only mandatory field values and two levels approval and one task.
Okay. Okay, fine. So that's it I had for the interview. Like, do you have any questions for me if you want to ask something?
Yeah. What will be the next process after this? And what?
So the next process will be if, yeah, so if you are selected, then my manager will be approaching you for the second round.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
Like in
Anything else?
no, like what will be the expectation from as per perspective from the SL?
Okay, so you mean to say where like once you are onboarded, then what will be the expectation from
Yeah.
this particular project? Okay. So generally, what we are doing is currently we are working on multiple modules. So we have like n number of modules, but I'm not sure in which module they are going to place you. But so it includes manual testing as well as ATF, and then you should have an idea about defect and defect management life cycle, as well as you will be part of upgrades. So that is what. And also, we also work in the form of stories, and then we will be having testing task, and you have to just test it. And then first, you have to write the manual test cases. And if you think there is a scenario where we can use ATFs, so you have to build the ATFs for those manual test cases. So currently, we are following this approach in the current project. So we are like
Okay.
hiring someone who knows and can understand, and then yeah. So that is
Got it.
what is the
Like
current
what
role
you
we
are
are
saying, the
looking
same
for.
scenario currently I'm working in
Yeah.
current company. Yeah, same. I'm good with this.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine then. Thank you so much
Thank you
for your
for your
time,
time.
Boli.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great day ahead.